jump up on my other accounts here and just make sure I am live, and then we can have some fun talking about our featherweights for a little bit. I hope. Here I am. Yay. Okay, I'm sorry. Facebook is up. So if you are on, I'd love for you to say hi. And then let me just go over to...
Up on YouTube.
YouTube. Nope, that's not right. Good Lord. Oh, here I am. Nope, that's not right. It takes me a minute, you know? I do this like 3 times a week. You'd think I would get faster, but... Hi, Joanne. I saw you over on Instagram a minute ago. Let's see here. Unit live. Yes, this please. Hi, Jen Jen. All right, and I will tell you what we're doing. Save. Hi, Jen from Bothell. I don't think have I seen you on here before? Welcome. Hello from Poland. Wow. Goodness. Hi, Nancy from Lake Stevens. Okay, I'm almost at Missy, sorry, Mary. Missy, good Lord. Forgive me, Missy. All right, well, let me just kind of tell you how we're going to roll here. So my name is Darlene. I am with Featherweight Doctor in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Today was too nice of a day to not have my live on my back deck. It's still a little crisp out here. I've got a turtleneck on and a thin jacket, and I'm doing okay with a hot cup of tea in my hand, but it is not raining, and it hasn't rained actually in the last 24 hours. So when you live in Seattle, you take advantage of that. So how this is going to go is I'm going to say hi to a few friends, and then we're going to get going. Tonight's show is on oil holes. So there's lots of oil points on the machine, but there's a couple that need to be addressed with oil, 1 drop of oil, about every 8 hours of stitching. So if you're at a retreat or you're working on a project for a few days in a row, you need to be hitting these oil holes to keep the machine in good working order. So I'm going to say hi to a few friends, and then we're going to get going. So let me just say hi to a few. It just sucks. Judy P says it's going to be 0 tonight. Hi, Nancy from Lake Stevens, and Kathy, Lynn, Tim Hager from Texas. Thanks for joining us. Bonnie, I'm outside. It is warm here. So I decided to do this because it was 57. It said it was 57, and I thought, that's almost swimsuit weather around here. We're going outside. Linda from Tennessee and Pauline from Texas. Fran Baldwin, hello. Happy to see you up early today in a second cup of coffee. Yes, I needed that second cup of coffee. Hello from Grand Lake Grove, Oklahoma. Michelle, how you doing, sweetheart? Lawrence is on from Ohio, and Kathy from Central Illinois. Mel, hi Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe, wake up. I'm on. He bought a Jeep today. He's a little wiped out. And Beth's on from Ohio. Odie down from Oregon. There's Judy P and Angel from Houston. This background is kind of my happy spot. Angel said it's still cold and chilly in Houston. And then Renee is on from North Carolina. Hi. Oh, Elizabeth is on from Indiana on YouTube. Karen Middleton from Mesa. Hi, Karen. I'm coming to see you in a few weeks. Can't wait. And then Diana headed to my Master Gardener class, so I'll have to catch the rest of the show later. Diana, learn a few things from me and let me know. I got to get this back deck, put back together. Okay. So, Fran, that is a really good question. Hi, Faith. Going to be there in a few weeks again. And then, of course, Jeanette. I'm still inside doing promotion quilting. That has been out for sure. Yes, very nice. All right, and Debbie's on from Kentucky. All right, I'm gonna get into the oil points here. So Fran's question is actually very timely. We're going to talk about it real quick before I got going. If you don't use the machine daily, do you still need to oil all of them all of the time? No. If you haven't used your machine in 30 days, however, if it's been sitting for more than a month, you need to, a bare minimum, do these oil points that we are about to talk about. Bare minimum. If it's been sitting for 30 days or longer. Thanks, Therese. Oh, Bernadette's on from Canada. Hello. All right, and Linda Wood's on from Texas. She's late today. That's all right. All right. So let me do this real quick. I have a couple of housekeeping things first. So Sunny, I think you're on YouTube. You're asking me about what I put my vintage iron in. So a friend, my button just came off. I need to sew this back on. But my friend made this for me a long time ago, and it's just basically a pouch. So here's my iron, and here is the cord. The cord can slide in this front pocket here. See, it's like a pouch. And then this is made with that stuff that you can cook potatoes in the microwave. I think it's a Warm Company product. So I don't have a pattern for this. This was a gift from a friend, but this is what I store my vintage iron in. So what I like about it is I can drop it in hot if I'm somewhere, and then I can just tuck the cord like this in the front. So our friend Sunny on here had her birthday this weekend, and she bought herself, or maybe your husband bought it for you, a vintage iron, and she was wondering what I kept my mine in. So I wanted to show her that. Okay, so let's talk about oil real quick before we talk about oil holes. So this is the oil that we carry on Featherweight Doctor's website. It's kind of nice. It has a telescoping end, so you can be real exact with your drops of oil. Sewing machine oil is not special. So if you have sewing machine oil for your Bernina or your brother or your Juki, that sewing machine oil will work fine on your Featherweight. The oil isn't special, but the grease is. And even if you have a little vintage can of the old oil, oh, Ray just tagged it. Thank you, sweetie. And it's still clear and not yellow. You can absolutely use the oil from those little antique oil cans also. So oil is not special. Oh, Jackie wants to see this is my iron, Jackie. It lays flat. It is a Singer. It has a little dial so I can heat regulate, and the handle comes up when I want to use it and then lays flat. This was a gift, I think about 15 years ago, for my husband off of eBay. I antique a lot, obviously, and I see these pretty readily available at antique stores. But this one is a Singer iron. I've seen other ones that aren't Singer. Just make sure, Jackie, that if you go looking for one, that it has one with the heat governor on it. A lot of the antique ones, like the really, really old ones, it was either on or off, but you can scald your fabric because there's no heat regulation to it. So make sure you find one with a dial so you can, temper the heat. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. One last thing before we go into oil points, and then Reagan's going to come over and hand hold the camera for me. All right, so I posted a picture of this over the weekend. I was contacted by one of my local quilt shops here in the Northwest that I teach at. They wanted me to, actually you can see the quilting pattern a little bit better from the back. They wanted me to teach an online class for them. They're just getting into online teaching, and they thought I've done this a time or two, so they thought I might be a good person to ask. So I decided to create this small wall hanging, and we're going to be putting it together. It's going to be mid-March, midweek, midday. And I don't have the link yet. If you want to sign up, it's going to be very reasonable. You get the pattern included in the class. I'm letting them make the announcement before I put the link onto my site, but this cute little wall hanging would be great for an RV door, your front door. It just kind of says, hey, spring, come on. I'm calling it the springtime butterfly, I believe is what I called it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys, and then as soon as I'm given the go ahead to post a link, I will do that. I was told that they're not going to limit the class because it's online, so it's not like there's going to be limited seats. All right, let's talk about oil points. Now, this is the book we carry. This was written by our mentor, Mr. McCullum, and he is a phenomenal author. He's quite the comedian if you're into a dry sense of humor. And he was an illustrator with Boeing, and so he hand drew these pictures. They are fantastic. As you can see, this is one of the oil point pages. So I am taking the every 8-hour oil holes out of this manual. We pretty much teach all of Mr. McCollum's, all of his procedures and good practices, and the every 8-hour oil holes are awesome. They're not in the Singer manual. You're not going to find them in the Singer manual. All right, Ray, my RV door. Yes, Mal, I was specifically talking to you. All right, Ray, do you want to come over? Oh, nope, I don't need a screwdriver. We're good. Okay, so Ray's going to come over and grab the camera, and then we'll get started. I'm going to point with my pointer here. So there are oil holes over the top of the machine, but none of these oil holes over the top of the machine are every 8 hours. Every 8 hours, there's one in the bobbin area. Look, it's dirty in here because I've been using this machine. So if you look here, the finger of this bobbin assembly should be seated underneath your this is the bottom of your throat plate, and when you spin this around, you can see here that there are some teeth that look like a jack-o'-lantern smile right there. 1 drop of oil every 8 hours of sewing goes on the jack-o'-lantern teeth in the bobbin. So that's every 8-hour oil hole number 1. Well, that's going to be hard to say. Okay. All right, the next oil hole, I'll put my iron underneath this so it doesn't just sit on the table. Okay, can you see the bottom okay? Okay. Boop, 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 boop. I looked at that and thought, gosh, I didn't replace that yet? Okay, so this is the underside of the machine, and there are, again, many other oil holes that should be addressed annually or every 6 months, depending on how often you use the machine. But as for the every 8-hour oil holes, do you guys see this main silver shaft here? There is a very visible oil hole here on the left side of the shaft, and a very visible oil hole right here underneath the lamp wiring on the right side. This is every 8 hours of stitching. So bobbin, and then you take the cover off and go drop 1 drop of oil into the shafts, the main silver shafts. All right, and then we have one more area which is very, very, very tricky. So we're going to spend a few minutes on this. Hi, Cindy and Jen. Oh, the birds are singing, Mel. They're like, yay, it's not raining. All right, so here we're going to do this. Ooh, ooh. I'm going to need both hands, so I think I'm just going to have to get low. All right, I am taking my faceplate off here. Hey, Bridget, she says, careful not to cut yourself on the plate. I'll try not to, girl. You know it'd be my luck, right? So I think if you've never opened up this area of your faceplate, it's a good idea to just open it up and just take a look at the mechanism and the movement first. You can see that some metal on metal parts are sliding faster than others. Like for instance, the feed dog shaft is just barely creeping by while this shaft is moving up and down considerably. And then if you notice this joint here behind the 2 front shafts, this one right here is moving around quite a bit. So at every one of these joints there is an every 8-hour oil hole. So, but sometimes, and they are visible, but sometimes you have to put the machine needle at a specific position to be able to see it. So for instance, you can see the one on top of this big screw back here when the take-up lever is in the full upright position. And then as you're coming down, this joint oil hole becomes very visible. So there's actually 2 on this joint here, and they're both visible when you are in between the 2 shafts. And then the oil hole at the bottom is visible at the same time. If you're looking at it from the other direction, it's visible at the top of the shaft also. So this arm, this very wide swooping arm, is an every 8-hour oil hole. So just to review real fast, we have bobbin on the jack-o'-lantern teeth. We've got the long silver shaft in the middle underneath. And then this arm right here is every 8-hour oil holes on every single joint. All right, we can go back to the other side. Thanks, baby. So that is our every 8-hour oil holes. It is important the way that these machines were manufactured that we take very good care of them, because they were manufactured in a time that was they were engineered to last forever if we maintained them. Like cars of that day and age were also maintained to last forever as long as there were parts available to replace for worn and broken parts, and then, you know, the knowledge of the mechanics to be able to fix antique cars. These machines are the same type of thing. They will literally run forever. There are parts all over the place through dealers like myself and eBay. If you're not, if a lot of, not a lot of companies, a company in overseas has started making replacement parts because they made a knockoff called an Alpha-So, and so that they make replacement motors, they make replacement bobbins and bobbin casings and bobbins assemblies. So what I'm saying is, if you take care of these machines, they will take care of you, and you will have a lifetime of enjoyment on sewing on them, and then your kids can sew on them someday. At least that's my hope for my kids sewing on mine. So that is all I really had for you tonight. I was trying to make this kind of short and sweet. I feel like you guys have had a lot of me these days, especially for those of you that joined me at Sew Expo. I did release this weekend, if you're just joining me for the first time since last week, some virtual Featherweight Spa Day classes of my own through Zoom. So you can go out to the website. I believe the March class might be full, or maybe have 1 seat or 2 seats left. I limited the size of the classes because I really wanted to have a lot of like individual attention with people and care. When I did the 30 people in the Sew Expo classes, it was really hard to, like, you know, help everybody individually, and I want to make sure I really kind of, you know, made sure everybody in my personal classes are really, really well taken care of. So I went ahead and added a second class in March. In April. So if that March class is full, then there's the April class. The classes are $65. Sunny, do you see she complimented you? She goes, "Great camera handling, Ray." So the classes are $65. There is a $65 kit purchase also. My next time with you guys is on Wednesday. We are working on our Quilt As You Go project. This week's block is a snowman. I need to finish up my sample so I can send my pattern out to everybody who paid for the entrance fee into Winter Solstice Table Runner. And then I'll be back again on Friday. So I'm thrilled to be with you guys every single week and multiple times a week. And you all, my online tribe, truly do mean a lot to me. So I really appreciate all of your support, and my success is your success as far as I'm concerned. So, oh, Rogue's walking around down there. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate all of your nice comments, and I guess I will see you at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday for the Quilt As You Go demo.